So winter is starting to settle in here on the East Coast, but that's not going to stop the videos from happening. I actually have a bunch of videos in the pipeline, but today we're going to be checking out the all-new 2023 Ride 1-Up Limited. There are differences between the 22 and the 23, very subtle, but I'm really happy to Ride 1-Up actually listens to their customers to be able to make the changes that are necessary. We're going to talk about the torque sensor, which this comes with, versus a cadence sensor on other bikes, the build quality, the overall build in general. Is this easier or harder compared to other bikes out there to build? And who's this bike for? Is it for you? We're gonna find out right now. Let's hop up on the trail and get some riding in. All right, so the initial power up of the Ride 1-Up, we get to look at the display, and you can cycle through all three pedal assist modes, just like that. And then they also have a walk assist mode, which I remember it being pretty aggressive. Let's do this. I mean, it's like, it's like running. 6 miles per hour was the top speed there for that walk assist mode, which is, like I said, pretty aggressive, but you know, if you gotta do what you gotta do. One of the cool features about the walk assist mode though, is if you get on the bike and you want to start your ride like that, hit the minus key, it'll start you, put your feet on, and just start your ride. So let's break down the all-new Ride 1-Up Limited. The color I'm showcasing today is Midnight Gray, and it also comes in a secondary color called Sandstorm. The overall capacity of this bike is 300 pounds, while the bike weighs in at 53 pounds. It comes with optional mounting points for a rear rack to add a child seat or bags or anything else you can come up with. The frame dimensions will accommodate riders between 5'6" and 6'4", and the overall standover height is actually really comfortable for long rides. Speaking of comfort, let's talk about what else makes this bike a comfortable ride. Starting with the added suspension with 80mm of travel, that makes most all trails feel really smooth. The added adjustments with being able to add air and change the rebound is also a very big plus. The handlebars are also comfortable, but I do feel like they do need to be a bit wider, or at least that's what I'm used to riding. The grips are pretty standard for most e-bikes out there with an ergonomically friendly lock-on grip design. The display is also pretty standard for what's out there and is also in color, so it makes it really easy to read. The brakes on this bike are a Tektro hydraulic system with 180mm rotors front and rear. The gear shifters are made by Shimano, and you can snap through that 8-speed rapid fire system riding like a traditional bike or using the thumb throttle whenever you just want to cruise. Now, like I said earlier, you can ride the Limited like a traditional bike, shifting through all the gears with no problem, or you can rely on that 750-watt gear hub motor to put you upwards of 30 miles per hour, depending on your body weight and pedal power. Now, you're able to achieve that speed with a 48-volt 14-amp-hour Samsung battery and a 48-volt 22-amp-hour controller. Your pedal assist is actually a torque sensor versus a cadence sensor, which I'll dive into right now. All right, so one isn't going to be better than the other. Torque versus cadence. I mean, you are going to have some people that kind of really want one versus the other, depending on their riding style. And I actually have been gravitating more towards the torque sensor because I like riding hard and getting rewarded for it. You can ride this like a traditional bike. You can ride a cadence sensor like a traditional bike. When you're riding a cadence sensor, you will feel an initial jerk. I guess like 3/4 of the way as you're pedaling, you'll feel zzz, depending on if it's a good cadence sensor or not. I mean, a lot of these off-the-shelf Chinese brands, they will all feel the same. I have ridden brands where I can't even tell that it's a cadence sensor, and it feels awesome. Now, those types of bikes would be really good for people that have like hip injuries, ankle injuries, or are handicapped of some way, shape, or form. Now, this type of bike, you'll be putting in the work, you're gonna get rewarded for it, and I've gone upwards of 30 miles per hour on this trail, and it feels awesome because it's really rewarding at the end of the day, knowing that, yeah, I am riding an electric bike, but I'm putting in the work and getting rewarded for it. So with that being said, if you have the means to be able to do so, you have a bike shop near you, try to see if you can ride both of these. A lot of bike shops will have, you know, both of them or at least one of them, so you kind of get a good understanding of what works for you. So the Ride 1-Up Limited is an actual real joy to ride. It's one of my favorite bikes that I have right now in my collection because it has a torque sensor. I think I love the fact that you have to put more effort in to get rewarded. Now, cadence sensors are actually really good as well, and a lot of people like them. This might not be the bike for you if you're looking for a bike that has a cadence sensor feel. I might do a video kind of comparing between a cadence sensor and a torque sensor just to give you guys a better understanding of what to expect.
But with that being said, the $1,595 price tag on this is awesome. The build quality on this is awesome. Literally, my only gripe is the building process. Other bikes out there take about 15 minutes to build and are about 90% built. This bike takes about 45 minutes to an hour to build because it's about 70% built. It's a bit more invasive, and if you're more mechanically inclined, then this might be the bike for you. If you're not mechanically inclined, you might want to send it to a bike shop to have built between $75 and $100 tacked onto this price point. When I say it's a bit more invasive, I mean, you got to put the fork on, the front wheel, the stem, the handlebars, the pedals, the crank arm, the chain ring, the chain, the kickstand. Like I said, it can be intimidating. So with that being said, if there's any other bikes you want to see here featured on the channel, put those in the comments below. If there's any other videos you want to see here on the channel, put those in the comments below as well. If you guys like this video, drop a like. If you love it, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one.